Hi, I'm Kelly Miller, and I'm right now teaching first grade. I'm going to be introducing them different ways to make 10. And through different lessons, we're going to be addressing the students who use tactile, auditory, and also visual learners. And by teaming them up with different groups, some individuals, some in groups of 2, some are 2 or more, they'll be able to establish this technique and allow them for further learning and building on with different numbers. Okay, at the beginning of math lessons, to reinforce the stations, each table group is a pod of tables in groups of 4, some 5, and they're all through vowels. So one group is the A group, one table group is E, another one is I, and O, and U. And each day, their math tub will rotate out, so they won't be receiving the same lesson each day in the forms of making 10. And so for Monday's group, table group A will get math tub 2, table group E will get math tub 3, table group I will receive math tub 4, and O will get the iPads. Table group U will get tub 1. And let me show you where the math tubs are located, and we will designate either number 1s to come and get the math tub for their groups, or the number 2s, which are located at the upper right hand corner of their desk, to let them know what number they are. And they will go over to the tub section and get their math tub for the day to know what game they're going to be playing. So let's go over there and let me show you that. Okay, this is a shelf that I have built in my classroom, and I have these cheap little dollar store tubs that hold materials really nicely. You can add folder games to them. You can do hold Unifix cubes, worksheets, different things in them, and are sturdy enough to withhold any first grader. So first, we have Math Tub 1, where we have a card game. Math Tub 2 is another making 10 game, which is geared towards pairs. There's Tub 3 that has a making 10 worksheet, and Tub 4 has a making 10 worksheet. Now remember, there's only 4 tubs at a time because one group will always have iPads. Okay, so our first game is going to be making 10 using cards. Okay, so this was all in those little tubs that we showed previously, and you have a deck of cards in the middle, and then on a piece of cardboard you just have the deck of cards ace through 9 laid out. And I've used Shelby, which is my daughter who's in 4th grade, and Casey, who's in 5th grade. They're helping me out today. They're going to be my examples. And so the first person would draw the card.
Me. I got
Okay.
6.
6. And so she would place it on top of the 4 because 6 plus 4 equals 10.
I got a 5.
He would place that on a 5 because 5 plus 5 equals 10.
I got an A.
Okay, an ace is the same as 1, so she would place that on
8.
the 9 because 9 plus 1 is 10.
I got a 4. 4 plus 6 equals 10. I got an 8. So 8 plus 2 equals 10. I got a 4. Whoops, I gotta skip my turn.
Okay, Casey had to skip his turn because he covered up his 6 with another 4. And so he has yet got another 6 to place on this 4 or on top of the other 4. And so he had to skip a turn. So at the end of the game, you'll see how many cards that one person has in front of them versus beside them. So they'll play this game until the deck is done. Okay, So now table group A has tub number 2. And in tub number 2 was a game, another making 10 game that involves 2 players. So our players are going to sit eek, which I call elbow, elbow, knee, knee, and they each get a stick of Unifix cubes. Okay, and in this game, what they're going to do is they're going to roll a dice. They're going to roll a dice, and they get a 4.
I got a 4.
So she would take one of her Unifix cubes and place it over the 6 over player 1, because 4 plus 6 equals 10. Okay. Then player 2 would go.
I get a 4, which 4 plus 2 is 6 again.
And then
4 plus 6
and
is
then
10.
it is my turn again. I got a 5, and 5 plus 5 equals 10.
Okay, so she would get another Unifix cube and place that over the 5.
Oh.
And the goal is to cover up all your numbers first. So say Shelby was to roll another 6.
I got
I'm
a
sorry.
6.
And then she covered up the 4. Get another Unifix cube. Okay. And say she got another 4. Because
I got a 4.
Okay, so cover. So she would cover up a 6 because 6 plus 4. No, you don't add on top of it. Okay, so then if she were to roll another 4, she would have to skip a turn because she has no more 6s. Okay, so she would just miss her turn. Okay, but she would still say 6 plus 4 equals 10. Still.
6 plus 4
Okay.
equals 10.
So what the goal is here is to make sure to fill up your whole side. Okay, so that is tub 2. Okay, so now this is table group E, who got a making 10 tub 3. And so this was all the things that were in table group 3. Tub 3. A piece of cardstock inside a clear overlay so that the kids can write on there using the dry erase board, and a tissue so that way they're able to erase it clearly. Okay, and these are different ways to make 10. If you don't have clear overlays, you can have whiteboards, and so the kids can make different numbers. Okay, in this game, you can either choose to pair it up with your table group, do an individual assessment, or you can do pairs. This choice, I've decided to do pairs, and it does involve a dice. So one person would roll a dice, and it would do 4. So you would write 4 plus 6 equals 10. Okay, or you could write it on a board, a whiteboard, and you could do 4 plus 6 equal 10, and you say 1, 2, 3 sparkle, and then they would both show that they got the right answer to make sure that they're both understanding what makes 10. Okay, and they would just keep doing that until all the combinations were done. And you can even draw, you could use color and color it and say, oh, I did it that way, and then the opposite color would do another way if for 6 plus 4 and then 4 plus 6. So inside each area would have 2 colors telling us that we've done them both ways. Okay, so that was Tub 3's project. So in table group I would get Math Tub 4, and what they would do is have these worksheets in there, and they would be run off front to back, and I would allow them to complete this worksheet but also using 10 frames. So you would have 2 different colors of crayons, and you would say 5 plus 3 is 10. I'm sorry, 5 plus 3 is 8, and then you would use 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then you would do 2 more, gives me 10. So then you would have your own equation on the top. 8 plus 2 equals 10. And that's counting on to make 10. So this would be for my more advanced learners. Addition to 10. Okay? And then once they were done with that, they would turn it into the finish tray. And I'll show y'all that in a little bit later. Okay, our final station is the iPad station. And for us, that would be table group O would receive iPad time. And so they would go and receive iPads, enough for the whole table group. And they would watch the Making 10 from MobyMax. These are great little plays and little movies, short movies that tells you how to break down and make 10. It gives you a nice little outline of what the little clips is about. And so it even has a short quiz at the end that you can give your students to check for comprehension. So nice little way to add that in at the end. And this is independent work, so it'll be good for the kids to do that. And then after they're done with this MobyMax video, they can get on Rise Kids or ABC Yeah to get some more practice on the Making 10 or on a past concept that they've already learned. These are some additional worksheets that I have that once the kids finish their independent work or group work, whichever their tub had, they would come and get one of these activities. If they're doing independent tub to where they want to work alone now, they can do this addition to 10 where they would get a red crayon and make the finish filling in the red frame, the 10 frame, to make 10. And so that's a way for them to do that, and that's addition up to 10. Then we also have the number line, which is counting on, and these are numbers addition problems to 10, not making 10, but a nice concept for them to build on. If they still want to continue their group work, I do have these cards, and what they would do is they have a part whole, and so they would say, I have a 2, so I predict that my other part is an 8 because 8 plus 2 equals 10. They would turn that over, so they would keep it. The second partner would then say, I have a part that's 6, so I predict my other part is 4 because 6 plus 4 equals 10. And that would be correct. They would keep their card, and they would play that over and over again. We did this actually today in class, and it was fantastic. My classmates really did enjoy playing with their partners and celebrating with them when they did get it correct. I also had the pleasure of watching some of the students coach their partners on whenever they didn't quite get it. They used counting up from their head, putting 6 in their head and counting up 4. Some used number lines, and others used Unifix cubes. So we all have those readily available in the classroom as needed for those. Okay, this is another asset that I have in my class. It's called the finish tray. This is where the kids will put their work whenever it is done. I do have a sign above it. It says stop. Make sure that your name's on it. Nothing is blank, and it's